What's happened, especially with the southwest sector of the squall line, it was moving along I-10 through Katy, and we started to notice on the velocity signatures, which we'll show you in a second, that the winds really started to get strong, and then the whole line started to sag south, and a bowing signature developed here. And even in the last couple of frames, you can see on the bottom here, that's the outflow boundary. And we've talked about this so much when we've got storms. The storm is collapsing, and we're getting the gust front coming out in all directions, and that is getting picked up by radar, which is like leaves and any other articles that would just get lofted into the air.
And look at what's happening right on the leading edge of that gust front development right there. It's lifting it. It's just a little laboratory of meteorology right now all taking place. Meso highs building in back here, so meso highs. We can actually see that because temperatures have dropped back behind this line.
Oh yeah, let's look at those.
It's cooler, and that is forming a little dome of high pressure. So yeah, so Hobby at 82, while it's 64 in Conroe, Tomball 69, Katy 68. That's the cool air from this meso high building in behind it.
And this is going to feel really nice compared to what's coming our way, which we'll talk about in a little while.
Right. Enjoy this briefly cooler evening because the heat's coming. I was just out. I had to go to the parking lot. Put something in my truck. As I was out there, just as this leading edge of the storm was coming into the Channel 11 studios here on Allen Parkway, here on Westheimer. That was another lifetime ago. And standing there just feeling the wind, and I could see the rain coming, big fat tropical raindrops with this. This is a tropical atmosphere, big saturated raindrops coming down with this.
And we had dew points today in the low 70s. Yeah. You know, this is exceptional because if we had a strong cold front that actually had a big push of cold air behind it, we'd probably see this all as a sustained line of really severe weather.
Yeah, we would.
So we lucked out here. It's moving into, it's still an unstable air mass, but the trigger isn't as pronounced.
Right.
You know?
Just enough to keep it in the non-severe range. There's a little bit of lightning. It's not too big and bad right now. There are some pockets of lightning out here. There's more lightning than I thought here. That's a pretty good thunderstorm there, just west of East Bernard, north of East Bernard. And then downtown, a couple of lightning strikes here. That's up toward Atascocita, getting into some lightning and thunder. Okay, 136. Earlier we had like 350 in a size like this, so it's diminished in intensity, but the rain is really coming down heavy out there.
Yeah, and the rainfall totals really over the last couple of hours have been pretty significant. It's been spread out over some time, but surely there are some areas that are experiencing these downpours that are seeing the water come up a little bit briefly before the drainage basins can kind of catch up.
So the rain, just look at, here's where the line has really kind of come through, and it's still getting some pretty good rain northwest Harris County, and we're in this green area, so that's between 1.5 to 2 inches. That's what I'd expect to see, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Cypress, 1.5 inches of rain, up towards Spring, 1.5 inches of rain. Perfect.
Yeah, very beneficial. A good drink of water for the lawns, the gardens. Not going to be doing too much in the way of flooding. So that's really the good news.
Exactly. We've been dry. All the bayous and creeks are at the bottom of their channel, so we could take several inches of rain and not have a problem. A couple of things. We should probably check the velocity.
Yes.
Just to see, because as I was out there and that leading edge was coming through, it was very gusty wind. Yeah, velocities.
We're seeing some signatures here, out by Celia, just kind of it lagging behind the actual gust front. Some gusts 40 miles an hour, close to that.
So that's a little bit above the surface. That probably translates down to what I felt out there, which I thought was a gust maybe to 30 or 35. That's usually not strong enough to cause any type of power outage problem. Got to get above 40 to really have that. And so these wind numbers you're seeing here are what the radar beam is picking up, but the radar beam is above the surface here by probably several hundred feet. Translate that down to the surface, you're going to reduce the wind speed a little bit, so that's why I'm saying 35 mile an hour. And I was just up there and I saw it, and it was about 35 mile an hour gusts.
Yeah, and all these storms are non-severe, so they're just bringing the heavy rain. Not as frequent lightning as earlier, which is some good news. These were highly electrified storms up near Huntsville area. We're talking like 700 strikes in 10 minutes at one point, but now they're down to around 100 or so over a much larger area.
And if you pan over to Galveston Bay and go down to the coast a little bit, look at this secondary, this line that has formed out ahead of the main line of storms. That's interesting. So already getting some good soaking rain down here across our coastal counties, at least in a thin band. But you guys in the coast, especially Brazoria, Galveston, Chambers County, you'll take whatever you can get right now because the drought down here is extreme.
And you can even see there's that gust front there. And as we're seeing out just south of Sugar Land, It's acting as its own kind of micro scale cold front, forcing the air to rise, and you get development out ahead of it. So as this goes south near League City, it'll be interesting in Alvin to see if that helps to develop another line of showers and storms before that line gets here.
Right there.
Yeah.
There it is. And so I would not be surprised me at all to either see development here or see that little storm near Jula if that's fired up right on that leading edge, that gust front, not only move that way, but also, hold together or expand. So we'll see if we can fill in this area with some rain and thunder pretty quickly.
And you know what else is kind of cool, too? You see that cell moving there, kind of due east,
Yeah.
while the line above it is moving due south. So this is getting driven by the upper level winds, it looks like, out ahead of the line.
And this is getting a kick from, it's kind of its own gravity wave, its own outflow that's now pushing it almost due south through Sugar Land, Richmond, through Missouri City, Fresno, Thompson's, Highway 59, the Highway 90 corridor. Oh, okay, sure, let's slice this thing.
I wanted to see if it was tall enough to be getting picked up by the upper level winds steering it that way, and it may be.
Up to about 30,000 feet, the very top of it. Deep convection up to about 20,000 feet. Yeah, that's high enough to get up there.
Not too bad, not too bad.
Not bad at all, but below severe limits, and that's what's kind of been the gift tonight. We're getting the beneficial rain. We're getting a lovely rainy evening, but we're not seeing any type of emergency weather with this, and that is very, very nice.
And it is moving a little bit ahead of schedule too.
Yeah.
So, and it's falling apart a little bit too, becoming a little bit more segmented off to the west as it drops south, and that could be a product of its quick movement.
And Randy, if you get any questions, you get anything, just chime on in. Randy Klein over here, digital
extraordinaire,
digital person extraordinaire.
I will change my business cards, right?
Would you please get a new business card? Yeah, put extraordinaire on there. So this is great. We're getting the best of Mother Nature tonight. Nice soaking rain, a little bit of lightning and thunder. The roads are wet, but it's not causing any flooding on roadways, not causing any significant problems out there, and we're going to get some beneficial, much-needed rain.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get to bed in the next couple of hours, the frequency of the lightning is going down.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's some good news there. And a lot of this, too, will be clearing the coast by 11 or so.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to clear. I mean, this is racing southeast at, that looks like at least 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So at this point, so downtown is about 50 miles inland. We're about 40 miles now. So that within the hour or so, that leading edge may be crossing over the west side of Galveston Bay.
Yeah, and then clearing the coast. And really, this is our only rain threat for the next 7 days. Do you want to look at drought?
Well, this is the thing. If you don't get some rain this evening, the next 7 days look very dry and very hot. So it's important that most of the area is getting some rain right now. As we've mentioned, the coastal counties have been in a significant drought. Northern counties have been doing okay. Forecast heat index numbers the next several days are not pleasant.
No way.
Triple digits Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and this may even be on the low end. I think it would not surprise me if some neighborhoods 103, 104, 105. Randy, you're good. All right.
So there's the most recent. So the drought outlook came out today.
Oh, this is new, the red.
Yeah. So it's actually gotten a little bit worse in our coastal county. So all the rain, probably about an inch to those places will pick up. That's all going to be good.
I hope so. Yeah, so we've got this blob of rain right in here right now that's going to scoot across the area. It may not get a whole lot toward Matagorda Bay, but hopefully at least Pearland, Friendswood, Alvin, Angleton, Galveston, Lamarck, Hitchcock, Texas City, and then over to Baytown and Chambers County. It looks likely you're going to get at least a good half-inch of rain out of this over the next couple of hours. That'll help your drought.
That is some good news. And the severe threat is really, I wouldn't say it's zero, but it's greatly diminished from what it was earlier.
It's almost zero.
Which is good, yeah.
It's almost
very
zero.
close.
But right now, so in the morning, just every grass blade in Houston is just going to be growing. You're going to need a hacksaw to get to your front door. It's going to be growing so quickly. Look at that beautiful rain. Yes, Randy.
I have a question.
Yes.
Isaac is in Clear Lake, and he wants to know if we're going to get hail in Clear Lake.
No.
No.
Isaac, good question, because earlier we had some significant hail. We were measuring hailstones up to a quarter size up across Madison County, Madisonville, northern Walker County, but all of that convection has really dissipated.
Yep, and we're not seeing anything right now. With that line moving through, zero hail signature.
So this is right now. This is our radar doing its Doppler thing, looking inside the storm, measuring the amount of particulate matter in the cloud, the size of the raindrop, the strength of the echo being returned, and it says no, just rain, no hail right now, so that's good.
Yeah, and even the last 2 hours, you don't see much. There's a little bit out towards Columbus, But overall, the hail was way to the north when it did actually come with the storms, and then they got up to like pea-sized. Those are the reports. They weren't exceptionally large, but last 2 hours, nothing. And in fact, the next 30 minutes, as this moves towards Clear Lake, we don't see anything on here.
Yeah.
Which is good.
That's good. So it's just rain. Good.
Yeah.
Lightning
a lot
popping.
of it.
Not too much in the way of lightning, just a good stormy, rainy night. If we're going to see any pea-sized hail at all, probably out of this cell just south of Sealy, drifting toward East Bernard, and that's about it. Good. It does look like a good soaking rain. And again, I was out there just as the leading edge came in. I wanted to see what the winds felt like, only about 30 to 35 miles an hour. So that's good as well.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing it spread out a little bit more. You're not seeing a defined line of gusty winds really anymore.
Yeah, just a good sign that everything's just kind of... And that actually matches the Cape values that we saw earlier. Much deeper to the north and to the west. Not so deep over the Houston area.
Yeah, we can go back and show it how it progressed here. So we
and
started out...
Look at how it's eating away at the Cape.
Yeah, so we started out this afternoon, like around lunchtime.
Okay, so this is convective area potential energy. Storm fuel or storm energy, if you will.
Yeah.
Brighter oranges indicate more heat and humidity. Theta E ridge, if you will. If you remember back to your meteorology class. And so, this was all just prime material waiting to be wrung out in the form of thunderstorms. Wasn't quite as deep here, lighter colors, low. And so that's probably a reason why the storms are weakening. There's just not as much energy here.
Yeah, and this was like at lunchtime, right? So we still had a little bit of cloud cover here. The sunshine was breaking out a little bit more here. And then watch what happened as we head through the afternoon, which is why the storm threat kind of looked like it would be increasing. The Cape went up a little bit, especially to the southwest, where Austin area did see a little bit more. Yeah. And then now, it's eating it away, and it's pressing towards the coast.
Yeah. This is all spent storm energy.
Exactly,
the storms have wrung out all of the heat and humidity here enough to where Cape values, convective area potential energy, are being reduced.
Yeah.
Meteorology in action, in motion. the physical laboratory of the atmosphere on display. So you were seeing the lightning here. It's now southeast side, pushing toward League City, Baytown, Liberty. That's where the strongest rain and gusty wind is. But as we mentioned, below severe limits, and it looks like it'll stay below severe limits. And this little storm right there that flared up, look, another storm was fired up right on that gust front.
Huh. Yeah, so Fort Bend, pretty active for you right now, lightning and thunder, heavy rain. About to move into Brazoria, northern portions there, Brazoria, over into Galveston, going to get active in the next hour. But that's about it. As you head out towards Conroe, you're kind of in the clear.
So, you're just about to get into the thick of it. Pearland, Friendswood, Alvin, League City. There's your leading edge of the strongest weather right now, and that's racing to the southeast at about 40 miles an hour. It's really moving.
Yeah, let's put a little track on it.
Oh yeah, let's track it. Let's do it.
To the coast.
And that's at a 40 mile an hour speed?
Let's see what that's at.
I think that's where we left it.
Oh, it's at 20 now, but I'll put it at 40. Change that up.
Yeah, let's go to 40 and see what that... Because it's coming in ahead of schedule. Mm-hmm. Not completely surprising that it's doing this. Some of the models were suggesting it might accelerate. Yeah, so Galveston by 9:30.
Yeah, half hour from now, reaching towards the coast and
now,
offshore.
Heads up, when this comes across Galveston Bay, the bay side of the island, it's going to produce some very gusty winds as it comes across the bay side. So Indian Beach, Jamaica Beach, if you're on the bay side of downtown Galveston, the Strand, if you're down at the Strand this evening, it's going to get very windy, very gusty winds coming across the bay. Same thing as you get over into the Bolivar Peninsula, Crystal Beach. Those winds are just going to race right across that bay, and quite often they'll accelerate a little bit as they do. I think it'll stay below severe limits. We may end up seeing a special marine warning or advisory for the coastal waters. If you know anybody who's out doing some fishing or on a boat this evening across the bay or the nearshore waters, text them right now, call them, tell them to get off the water, because this will very quickly cause the seas to become quite dangerous.
Yeah, and so we're basically just left with a deteriorating line or spreading out line of moderate to very heavy rainfall, some lightning and thunder in there, and some brief gusty winds.
Look at the good soaking rain
right
in here.
It's wonderful.
That is a sight for sore eyes for a lot of neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there we are.
Yeah.
Randy?
Nope.
Yeah. That's a good indication. That means we're doing okay. No big problems out there. We will have a live update on the TV side at 10 o'clock, at which point, if you have plans for Mother's Day, you're going to want to stick around. The weekend forecast has its own version of Houston severe weather, and we'll go over that
Yeah.
at 10 o'clock. Yeah, okay, we'll see you guys then.